What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel, which today we're reacting to how I caught my own grandpa. If y'all know Uma or Oma, what he does is he catches predators by like going on dating apps and all that. Monday, when I went through and made had ideas for this entire week, I seen this and I'm like, oh, I want to watch this. But I purposely haven't watched it till since it was a video idea. So I mean, yeah. Before we get into this, if y'all like this content, like and subscribe. Tell me what y'all want to see on this channel. 50 subscribers, face reveal. Without further ado, let's get into it.
Hello, hi, this is Kaiser. You probably may have seen my sister's videos, but I'm using my sister's account and
Hold on, let me
in
fix
order
the
to use her
mic.
account, I have to be a friend.
Imagine being halfway across the country at 13 years old, alone with only your little sister and a grandparent you barely know.
Hope you like the video.
But what you do know is you just accidentally found a crapload of CP. And the man who holds it, your own grandfather, is your only way home.
Okay, hold on. That got crazy fast. For my birthday, which is legit, July 12th, I'm be getting a mic, like an actual mic, not like a headset mic, like an actual mic. So hopefully the quality will be better. And yeah, let's get back into it. This is kind
You
of
may have
good.
seen some comments in the past calling out my absolute honker ears. Hell, this one's even deformed. But even with my big deformed ears, you know what fits better than anything? What fits wonderfully? Raycon Everyday Ergonomic Earbuds fit like an absolute beaut no matter what I'm doing. Whether it be a long run, editing, cleaning, or whatever else may have you, you can do it all with Raycon Everyday Earbuds for or whatever else may have you, you can do it all with Raycon Everyday Earbuds for as long as you may need to, because they have 32 hours of battery life in between charges. And even better yet, if you have a bad 32 hours of battery life, well then just send it back, because Raycon offers a 30-day money-back guarantee. Catching creeps, video editing, or really whatever else I like to do with music in my ears is a little easier thanks to Raycon. And now you can enjoy a pair for yourself. Go to buyraycon.com/OMA to get 15% off your purchase plus free shipping. Apologies for the dramatic intro. I wasn't exactly sure how to start off a video like this. But hey, as I near 1 million subscribers, I figure what better time to make an Oma origin story video than, well, now. I mean, it's not like there's ever exactly a good time to make a video about your grandfather being a serial predator, but hey, this is probably the closest it'll be to a good time. I grew up never really knowing my dad. He beat the piss out of me pretty badly when I was a baby, so I hear. My mom was actually told that I was never even going to be able to walk, and I would likely be paralyzed. I grew up pretty religiously as well for the first 10 years or so of my life, going to church pretty much.
See, I feel bad for people that have to deal with that, because that's like, like especially if you're a kid, like a baby. Oh, mom, feel bad for y'all.
Almost every Sunday, and you know, God teaches you to love your family. So when eventually my grandparents reached out to my mom wanting to be in our lives, she was somewhat accepting. Like I said, I never knew my dad and he was never in my life, but his parents wanted to be in mine despite what he had done. Initially my mom didn't really want anything to do with them, but after a few years and, you know, being a struggling single mother, she eventually allowed them to send us things through our church. I was about 6, this went on for probably a few years, and my mom had finally decided that they had won her over enough to allow them to meet us. Us being me and my little sister, who is 1 year younger than me. Met them at Chuck E. Cheese, and honestly, I remember it being a blast. I mean, what kid isn't gonna have fun at Chuck E. Cheese? We got to know them, learned a lot about them, and we learned that my grandfather was actually a pastor, an active youth pastor at
Birthday's in less than a month. I am going to Tennessee 2 weeks. So y'all must believe next week I am sweating my butt off making videos for y'all. Nobody might ever see this. Y'all know. I'm not gonna scrap the video idea. I don't. For sure, I didn't want to make a video today, but I would much rather be a YouTuber and start young without. I'd rather start young with no subscribers, no viewers, So then whenever I get older, I already have experience and all that. So I mean, yeah, let's get back to it. But hold on, yeah. On my birthday, I'm gonna show y'all. I'm gonna do a birthday haul, and then I'm gonna show y'all. I'll probably just play like a Roblox like scary birthday game or something like that. Just to, lighten up. You know,
At a children's
not lighten up, but you know what I mean. Just actually do something for the video instead of just do like a birthday haul.
ministry in North Carolina. Of course, my mom liked that and, green flags, so they began to come around more and more. Not much because they lived in North Carolina, but about once or twice a year we would see them. Typically, we'd only really see them if they were
in
like in
South
town for
Carolina.
some church
South
reasons
Carolina.
or occasionally family reasons, but this arrangement went on for about 7 or 8 years until I was 13 and my sister was about 12. I think I was in 8th grade at the time, and we had concocted this amazing idea to spend our spring break over in North Carolina with our grandparents. Really get to know them. Honestly, overall, it was a pretty dope vacation. We saw mountains, I saw oceans, we ate great food. It was great, all besides for a few red flags that at the time seemed minor, but now, I look at it a little differently. It was mostly minuscule, but there's one instance in particular that my mom was particularly concerned about, even at the time. There was one instance where I had mildly, upset my grandfather, and he kind of, just flipped a switch and turned into a whole new human being for a little while. It's kind of scary. Basically, there was this girl that I knew we were going to be meeting for some reason or another. I think she was like a step relative on my grandma's side or something along those lines. I'm not sure, but I knew I wasn't related to her.
I need to text her real quick. Okay, so last night it was pouring down rain. It's still wet. Even though, hold on, I don't want y'all to see my face. Hold on, my bad. Even though, hold on. I should cut this part out, but
And I knew we were
even though, here's like the background. Two best YouTubers. Yes, I got my name from YXL Solo. That's YXL, YWL. So why not?
meeting her. And of course, I thought she was cute, so I did what any boy would do at the time with no game. I sent her a Facebook friend request and added her there. I don't know if I thought I would lay on the charm with my Instagram posts before I met her, but I added her for some reason. Anyways, my grandpa, as old people do, took tons of pictures on this trip and posted them on Facebook. However, there was one particularly bad photo of me that he had posted where I just really didn't like the way I looked. It was an unflattering picture of me, to say the least. I can probably find it, but I knew he had
Let
this
me
girl
fix my mic.
friended and I had her friended, and I didn't want her to see that. I was embarrassed. I'm a young boy in a changing body, and a girl that I knew I was meeting and thought was cute could see this ugly picture of me, so I simply asked him to delete it because I was embarrassed by it. I think a reasonable request for an insecure little boy, but not to him apparently. He basically just got super pissy about it, going fine, I guess I'll never get pictures of you again. Guess I don't need pictures of
Hate. Maybe we'll do that, bro. Just because I said one thing, don't mean you gotta.
my own grandchildren, kind of being a baby about it. But eventually he got over it and we went about our vacation up until the last night there.
What is music, dude?
I've been making videos for a long time. Pretty much since I was 5 years old, I've been trying to create content on the internet. And as such, I've become very familiar with the internet and technology at a young age, including internet culture. You'll see why this is important in a minute. It was our final day in North Carolina, and we had just gotten back to my grandparents' house from the other place we were staying at for a few days. We had our flight back home the next morning pretty early, and we had yet to print our tickets. And so my grandfather gave me his phone to do so. I did so without issue, and we got our tickets printed to go home. However, on phones how you can swipe up or hit a button and see all of your
I have a feeling where this is going.
open apps that are running in the background, and you can swipe up or down to close them. Well, I've always had a habit of doing that, and so
Down.
without even
You can
thinking,
swipe
I
down?
did so on my grandfather's phone, just out of habit.
No,
I
I
was
can't
habitually
do that.
swiping
I
up
feel- okay.
fast, and so I closed it quick. But I realized I closed an app that had caught my eye in particular, an app that I thought it to be interesting that my grandpa even had on his phone. I'll give you a few seconds to take a guess as to what app could be so alarming. The app was Kik. Kik Messenger.
Like,
If you know
oh,
anything
I thought it was like the streaming app.
about Kik Messenger or its history, then I'm sure you'll know why this piqued my interest pretty quickly. See, even being 13 at the time, I knew way more than I should have about the internet. So I knew about Kik. Kik for a long time had been, and still unfortunately is to this day, a clusterfuck of an app, known for being the go-to messaging service for child predators.
On Kik, users share messages, photos, and videos. You don't have to be friends to connect. Users share messages, photos, and videos. You don't have to
Bro
be
is young. Why is she smoke? Bro, I know so many people at my school that smoke. I'm like, y'all some losers, bro.
friends to connect. Anyone can contact anyone anonymously. Kik is one of the most popular apps that works this way. And that's the problem,
It's like
according to
Tinder.
police.
I didn't assume anything at this time, and less alarm bells rang in my head than probably should have, but it was enough to pique my interest, at least a little bit. I mean, come on, maybe Grandpa was in some church group chats. We went about the night as normally as we could, but I decided in my head that when everyone had fell asleep, I was gonna sneak my grandpa's phone and have a look-see as to what he was up to on Kik. Who knows, maybe it really just was a nice church group chat, and it was my cue to find God again. It was not.
For about 3 hours, I just sat on my phone, waiting for my opportunity. About 1 a.m., everyone had fallen asleep for a little while. My grandpa had foolishly left his phone out on the table. He also foolishly didn't have a password on it. I managed to sneakily grab his phone and then lock myself in the bathroom to begin checking it out. I remember seeing his profile first. It was a picture of him in a tie-dye shirt. He went under the name Horny Artist. Needless to say, there were no church group chats.
Yo, why would that be your name?
And honestly, there was no real good explanation for why he had Kik. Unless you count having terabytes of CP as a good explanation. I wouldn't. I don't think I need to go in.
How much is terabytes? Terabyte? Yeah, well, I forgot. I can't spell
Detail with
nothing.
what I saw, but just know I saw pretty much probably the worst stuff that I probably could have seen. I began scrolling through and there was probably about 50 different individuals my grandfather was trading this nasty stuff with. One of the main people he would converse with on this
50?
app
Count
was someone
that,
named
bro.
Kat. He had also shared images of my sister with her, as well as pictures of the other step-granddaughter that we had met earlier on this trip. It was all normal pictures, but he just mentioned that we were visiting and that this other granddaughter would be staying with him for a week later that same summer. Now honestly, I wasn't really sure what to do, and I mean, I don't think any 13-year-old would. I didn't want to really record what was on his phone because I didn't want to have CP on my own phone and get in trouble. I made sure to memorize his username and diligently studied his conversation with this cat person. Funny enough, this is how I actually knew how to catch predators on Omegle, is because this cat girl at this time told my grandfather that she uses Omegle to find other predators and kids. Anyways, I'd concocted a plan. We ended up leaving the next day and made it home safely. Right when we got back home, I got right to work. When I got back home, I made a fake Kik profile, pretending to be a 26-year-old girl. And yes, my plan was I was basically acting
Is that
like a
app even
fellow
still up?
predator, 13 years old. I reached out to him telling him I was a friend of this cat girl, and we got to talking.
Hey, my friend Kit told me about you. Who?
Oh.
Cat? And?
That is-
Just cat. Then he immediately sends a penis picture. No words,
Dude,
just
dude, that's crazy.
straight dick. You married? I asked. By this point, I could gauge he was a sick fuck and enjoyed being a sick fuck, so I knew he probably wouldn't have an issue admitting to this. To be honest, yes. You? No, I'm 26. I have a boyfriend though. I mean, this right
What was that voice? Yeah, to be honest, yeah.
here, my age was really showing. I said that like a 26-year-old wouldn't be married. That's unreasonable. Like, oh no. It's an open relationship. He doesn't care what I do. Does your wife know? Heck no. Better not get caught. Kissing emoji. I want to suck a dick. Try it. Do you have anyone whose dick you can suck? LOL. Tried mine. I'm just short. LOL. You could always meet with someone. He sends another picture.
That's crazy. That must be traumatizing, to be honest.
It is
Aren't
peop-
13? No, that's my age. Maybe
Be-
not, but if you're
What
younger,
did Kat say? I asked if she knew any hot guys who will
hot.
send pics, and she gave me you. He then sent me a picture of him holding his wiener with his face in it. Better yet, it also
Ew.
said camera right underneath the image, which on Kik means that that was taken live right then in that moment while we were texting. Where's your wife? At work. Sneaky. Do you have a friend you can suck off? I think my mindset here was I was just trying to see if you had mentioned anyone that I might have
PC
known,
side
or
was,
me,
but I
or,
didn't turn
or
my
my
fan at
sister or
this.
something. I don't know. Not yet. So I pressed some
Annoying.
harder. Or son, depending on your relationship. I know some people would do stuff with their kids or grandkids. And then unfortunately, I got the response I was looking for. I would. With who?
Yo,
Granddaughter.
put him up. Lock him up. Lock him up. Lock him up. Lock him up.
Oh, how old are they? 12.
I thought this was gonna be like a normal, like I said in the beginning of the video, they're on apps. I thought it was like, I thought it was that, not like, no.
How often do you see them? Then his response to that was a picture of my sister just sitting at the beach in her bathing suit. That was a safe for work image. It was like a Facebook image you would find on like a mom's Facebook.
So it's not
But
bad.
obviously it's pretty disturbing to have seen it being sent around that way.
Well,
I was
yeah,
honestly
yeah.
speechless, so I just responded with I'll send a pic later. He then sent another picture of one of his other step granddaughters, the one that we had met previously on this trip, who was also around our age. Now that I think about it, me and Grandpa were eyeing the same girl, which was not cool, dude. When did you see them last?
That's
They
crazy.
taste good too. Spent a week with first pick, second pick coming for a week. And you didn't try anything? And he just responded with, her brother in the pool too.
This
rubbing-
was,
And you didn't try
Hold on, hold on,
anything?
hold on, hold
And
on,
he
hold
just
on.
responded with, her brother in
this
the
wasn't me.
pool too.
This was me?
Rubbing your kitty? Yeah, I am. Nah, see. And I guess I just never seen a vagina in my life, or knew how they work, or probably even talked to a woman at this point in my life, because for some reason,
I'm a
my
focus.
response to, yeah, I'm playing with my kitty, can you see? My response was, send a pic when I'm not around people. Who's there? I'm in a car with my friends and mom. I guess the girl I was pretending to be was a freak. I really don't know how he didn't get skeptical at this point, but hey, I wasn't a professional at this time yet, okay? I was 13. He sent another PP.
And what's it? That's 4 now, no? That's how many rings LeBron got. It took him 22 years. It's taking this dude probably less than an hour to. Okay, that made no sense.
Picture. You play with Kat? Not yet. Just started this account yesterday. Send you one of her sucking me when I see your pics. I love Young. Okay.
I love Young. Trey Young. Yeah,
I'll
Trey
trade.
Young.
He sent 2 more PP pictures and an image of a girl, clearly not 18. At this point, I just decided to leave our conversation alone, as I had pretty
He looks like somebody I know. I don't know who though.
much got all that I felt that I needed from him, and he had pretty heavily incriminated himself already at this point. So, naturally, I felt like I had seen enough of Grandpa for the day, and I just left him alone. And before I even went to the police or even told my own mom, I wanted to make people around him aware, so I messaged the mother of the other granddaughter. Excuse me, but do you have a moment to spare? It could involve your daughter. Yes? Now honestly, I didn't think she would take me seriously because I was a literal kid myself
Send the
at the
screenshots.
time, so I lied to her a little bit. I'm an online vigilante who catches pedophiles and stops them before they do anything to harm anyone. Unfortunately, I have hard evidence of Tom Kinsley saying and sending very illegal things. I would keep your daughter away from him as well. And might I say, that message was June 9th of 2017. And what a crazy foreshadow, because here I am 8 years later. This was basically my destiny, you know? Basically, I created a fake profile pretending to be a 26-year-old girl to get proof of him admitting to things he wants to do to your daughter, his other granddaughter, and other kids. And inevitably, this got the ball rolling. And he then pretty
This is a
swiftly
loser,
underwent
bro.
FBI investigation and was arrested and charged with indecent liberties with a minor, as well as 5 counts
A $1 million secure bond. An additional 5 million, 5 million bond.
of second-degree
That's
sexual
crazy.
exploitation of a minor. Unfortunately, he bitched out like the coward we all know these child predators are, and on June 17th, 2017, took his own life in his jail cell. Hopefully this gives you all some more insight in regards to why I do what I do and the content style that I make. Views and shit are obviously cool and all, but this style of content has always had a deeper and more personal meaning to me. Thank you guys so much for 1 million. That's literally my childhood dream, and I hope you guys continue to support me in the future, because we have a lot of crazy videos coming up.
Okay. That's gonna wrap up the video. If you watched this at night, have a good night. If you watched it that day, have a good day. Peace out, fam. Love y'all.